This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pitstop, where you guys, the pit crew, are the real star of today's show. And happy Friday, TGIF. Woohoo! It's the weekend for everybody. That puts a smile on everybody's face, and a lot of great things going on in the world of racing, because last week was kind of a cold week in racing. So lots going on. Should be a very entertaining weekend, both in sim and in real life racing. So what's going on in your world? What's going on in the world of sim? Any good news? You guys know of anything exceptional that I should be talking about today? I have a few stories. I have a lot of stories, and I'm going to start blowing through them. But if there's anything you want to talk about, you be the star of today's show, and you chime in on the chat. Let us know that we should be aware of something going on in sim racing. The other thing, I'm always telling you guys, I want screenshots. I want to make you guys the star of the show. So if you've put your name on a leaderboard, and I don't care where you stand, you send me an image, Sean, S-H-A-U-N, at thesimpit.com, and I'll feature on the show. If you have a rig that you think is worth seeing, send me photos at Sean, S-H-A-U-N, at thesimpit.com, and I'd love to feature them on the show. So I'll try to bring more and more of you guys into the pit stop each and every day. So with that little intro, let's move on to today's sim racing news. Sometimes my stories are big. Sometimes they're small. Sometimes they're just because they bring a smile to my face. Anyway, Forza 7, they put this picture up. And, you know, I honestly, I forgot you could race the trucks in Forza 7. Has anybody done it? Is it fun? Would it make for a good, entertaining multiplayer race amongst friends against guys you could trust or know you can race well against? It looks like fun. I always like watching that. It's not big here in America, but whenever I saw it, I thought, oh, man, they should do that here in America. So kudos to Gran Turismo, to Forza on that. Gran Turismo has an article here at their Twitter feed talking about making history with the Gran Turismo World Tour Manufacturing Series. Final begins in 15 minutes. This was 3 hours ago, but if you want, you can check those videos out. And this is the World Tour live from Nürburgring. It's their Manufacturing Series finale. And look at this. It's really cool. English, Espanol, German, French, Italiano. They have it in a variety of different languages, so you can check that out and see how the highlights of their big event going on there at Nürburgring. Formula One also talking about their big esports thing going on, because you've got their big Catalunya event going on, and this is the event 3 for qualifying for that real draft in the Formula One 2018. And they, too, just published a video with the 2018 Spanish Grand Prix FP1 highlights. And you can see how... Whoops. I went to the real one. Sorry. But we're going to be following that story, and we should be able to... The event was live. It's at f1esport.com. I'm sorry. I thought I had the replay video, and it's the real F1 practice video. Sorry about that. Whoops. Also, at Nürburgring is Race Room. So we're seeing some pictures of what's going on there with their esport finale going on. You can follow that on their Facebook and at the Nürburgring channel on Facebook. So we got some initial pictures of the Race Room competition going on in that auditorium there at Nürburgring. That's the commentator booth right there. And you can see got some guys turning things. I mean, Nürburgring right now is the place to be. Nürburgring, I should say. But that is where so many things right now are going on in the world of esport. FOM. Oh, yeah. Brad, you're so right. That one mini clip. That's so funny, but they'd have their little robots find it and kill my video. Wouldn't that suck? iRacing is on their way to Lime Rock Park, May 25th and 26th. So this is going on with the World Challenge. Isn't it the World Challenge? Yeah, the World Challenge Series. So going on 25th and 26th of May in Lime Rock. Not only will the racing be going on, but you can go meet some of the guys from iRacing. Whoops. Some of the guys from iRacing and check out their simulators and everything they got going on there as well. I believe that's part of the whole Mazda Challenge competition as well. They have the Hot Lap Challenge where, I mean, you want to win a cool prize, go do this. So, yeah, Lime Rock right here, May 25th and 26th is their online and at the track schedule. So, the previous live event, which we should have done it. We didn't do it. Was at Long Beach. How did we... Anyway, missed an opportunity. I wasn't working that weekend. I was playing. GT Planet has an article saying that IndyCar IR-18 is reportedly on its way to Forza this season. So that's going to allow you to take advantage of the newest. And along with it, I would assume, comes some paint schemes to really set it off, if you want to talk about it. But a nice addition to Forza Motorsport, which just continues. I mean, again, I'm going to give them and GT all the companies right now are doing such a phenomenal, fantastic job of increasing content. Thumbs up for Max. Oh, man, I forgot. Bear with me, you guys. Sometimes. Bear with me. It's just us hanging out. We have time to take a diversion, right? I just thought I would do something for all of you guys today. And oh, it's too big. Bear with me. Sorry, we're going amateur hour for Mr. Max. There's Max, hanging out, getting ready to do some sim racing. And you guys we talk about Max all the time. And there he is. So welcome to the show, buddy. Hey, buddy. What are you doing? You just protecting, make sure no one sneaks in? Thank you. He's always on guard, making sure no one comes in behind me when I'm streaming. Gotta love that. Anyway, moving on back to the regular news. Welcome to the show, Max. You are the real star today's show. Talking about Nürburgring. Talking about all of the competitions going on. Who are the big hitters? Well, right now, FA Racing. So they've got them showing them off. There's Danny Engels, the manager, who actually laid down a time and is like well up on the leaderboard in the race room competition. So coming out of the retirement from being a team manager to being one of the contestants. But there he is. Anyway, some cool videos. So if you check this out, it's at the Twitter feed for FA Racing G2 Logitech. But they have some cool videos, images of all of the events going on from their perspective. So lots of stuff coming in from Nürburgring right now. And like I said, it's the place to be, including our good friends over at Avid Chronic. I got this video of Jack Kitely laying down a lap time and qualifying, I believe this was. Yeah, for the eSport WTCR competition and race room. And look at that car, right? What a view. We talk about having to adapt to equipment. Can you bring VR, whatever? But hey, look at this. A single monitor too far away. A Logitech G27 in some kind of generic-looking rig. I can't tell what the rig is right now. Generic's the wrong word. Avid Chronic, our buddies, they didn't just have that video, though. They have videos of everything. So if you want a good reason to go to Avid Chronic Racing, Zach Speed, at Facebook, you're going to want to do it right now. You'll see that video of Jack. Video of we forget that there's actually a on-track event going on. Some pictures of the guy, Mitchie and Jack, and the leaderboard. We can see the whole leaderboard. There it is. Giorgio Baldi in the lead. Jack Kitely in third in this image. Julian Kuntz. Kevin Siggy. A lot of names. A lot of familiar names here. Sorry if I just blew out your ears moving closer to the screen. But check that out, and there's other videos. Here's another video of Jack. We got a video of Lewis McGlade, a video of Richard Schaefer laying down a qualifying time. And here you know, what do you know? Live, well, not live, but nearly live, filmed live from Nürburgring, Mitchie Hoyer laying down a lap time. Excuse me. Hey, buddy, you were on the show. What's up? You're still hanging out down by the stinky socks, huh? All right, sorry, with so many distractions today. Excuse me. Moving on. Gravel. New DLC pack delivers performance and drivability. So if you're a big fan of Gravel, you can find this out at the xboxhub.com. I'm just letting you know about certain stories, and if they're worthy, we'd go deeper into it. And I'm not saying it's not worthy, but there's an update for those who love Gravel. I haven't played it yet. Here's an article at Gambling Sites. We were talking about World Series of Poker just yesterday. doing a whole article talking about what is going to be the future of esports, console versus PC versus mobile. So they give the pros and cons of each of the platforms, and they talk about their top pick and conclusion. And I'm not going to give it all away. If you want to find out, you'll go to gamblingsites.org and look for that article on the future of esports, which is very, very applicable to what we're doing, because it could affect sim racing. And we saw, them having to adapt to a G27 and a tiny monitor. Another game that just came out, and I believe this was a free game. So they are looking for donations. So we've talked about like some of the vaporware on Steam that people might pay a little bit of money, $5-10, but multiply that by however many people buy, and then you never see development. This one's sort of the opposite way around. It's like they are going to feed the tip jar. They're going to give you a free game. And if you want to see them continue to develop this Micro Machines Tron looking game, then you can check it out. Anyway, this is on, it wasn't Steam, it was IUE. Hold on, where's that name? itch.io. itch.io is where you would find it, and it's called King of Wheels, and it's sort of a tabletop type game. Speaking of tabletop game, you ever see those? They're kind of ridiculous, but you see those like miniature Zen gardens where it's like a little miniature rake and a thing of sand and little things you can move around, just create your little aura or piece or your Zen spot on your desk. Well, here's a game, a driving game that I'm assuming is influenced by that concept, because again, it's kind of like a tabletop or desktop version of a drifting game. And anyway, kind of cool, kind of unique. Another twist on what you can do with the driving platform when you're not really, sticking to the rule book, so to speak, when it comes to a drift, not just a drift, but any kind of driving game. Absolute drift. Team VVV has a cool scoop about Assetto Corsa to host a Porsche E-Carrera Cup Italia Esports Series in conjunction with Porsche Italia, Sparco Gaming, AK Informatica, and Cuno Simulazione. The Porsche Carrera Cup Italia will, will run alongside the real-life Porsche Carrera Cup Italia series. So that's kind of cool news, and you can find that out at Team VVV. Hey, Tom, I love the way you guys... Man, we have such a cool crowd. That's one thing that's great about this show is it might not be record-setting numbers, although you should tell a friend, so they could be. We have such a great core group, and we just get to hang out and BS about sim racing and anything. I see you guys with your diversion topics, and it's hard to keep a straight face sometimes when I'm doing this. But VentureBeat.com has a story talking about the Sony-backed Japan display launches new high-end VR screens that could power PSVR 2, PlayStation VR 2. Images of the difference between pixel resolutions. So when you're hearing people talk about low res, high res, and the need for better graphics, this could be what we're looking at for the next gen on the PlayStation platform. Here's a whole other article at Kit Guru also talking about the same thing. So this is kind of a big deal in the VR world. And we'll have to keep our eyes on Gen 2, which we're all looking forward to, of course. Here's another one talking VR. VR, man, I tell you, it's so funny. We did have that conversation about taking your VR to a competition, because if you were going to be a pro esport guy right now, you just couldn't run in VR all the time, because you'd have to make too big of a change when you got there. You'd almost have to create one of those ridiculous setups of a monitor too far away, not big enough, and an old school wheel and pedal set. Full Steam support still doesn't fix Windows Mixed Reality from giving it that early access feel. Anyway, this is at PC World, and I recently did a review of the Samsung, and I loved it on a lot of ways, but yeah, it had a real early access feel. Anyway, if you're interested in this in the future and the current state of VR, PCWorld.com has this article, and you can read it in great detail. It actually kind of parallels my opinions quite a bit. Here's a game I didn't know, but PC Gamer once called it the best free-to-play MMO ever in 2013, and it was called APB. Apparently, APB Reloaded, the company that owns it, was purchased, and the company that bought the company that made this title is going to bring it back to life with the Unreal Engine 4 and a whole bunch of new attention. So if any of you remember this and played it, I didn't. I just know if PC Gamer was calling it the best ever in 2013, then a lot of you probably did play it. So we can expect a next-gen version. So next up, oh, go away. What's that? Esports Bar 0 in on the Golden Knights action. So this is basically a whole press article and TV thing talking about the Golden Knights, and they've had a super successful season, and there's a bar called the Nerd Bar in downtown Las Vegas, and they're kind of joining forces to create their own esport competition, starting off with NHL in conjunction with the Golden Knights. So I was going to start toning down, but I thought this one was kind of cool. They talk about moving into Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. So that could be a legitimate place for us to go in Vegas and participate in the Mario Kart esport competition at the Nerd Bar in downtown Vegas. American Pitbull. Not my dog. What are you talking about? John Shield. No, I just have so many stories to cover. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of these are kind of just like the stories that a certain percentage of you might like, and maybe not so much for everybody. So rather than dwell on the Golden Knights, esport, hockey, Mario Kart, and Smash Brothers, I could move on to other things. And at 11 o'clock, I am going to be doing my first live review ever for the patron group that will then become an edited view for regular viewers, because everything I've ever done has been an edited review. So that's going to be one of the perks of the patron program. That's going on today at 11. So I am a little bit racing through it. Checkeredflag.co.uk has a review on Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition. So, you know, now that everything's come out and you can get the entire package as one piece, they're doing a full-blown review. So if you want to hear their thoughts, their opinions on it, then you can check that out at checkeredflag.com. A little shout out at autosport.com. E-Rock champion, and we know his name very well because we've been covering him, Enzo Benito. He's among the qualifiers for the second week of F1 Esport, which we know because we've covered. But I'm mentioning this because they go on to say that, you know, Benito, who's a simulator driver for current Formula E championship leader Techeetah, dominated the Baku PC race to book his place in the pro draft. So, you know, this is at autosport.com, and we forget that Enzo Benito was one of the finalists in the whole Visa Vegas, you know, and that's what got him the job working as the Formula E simulator driver for Team Techeetah. So, he's a great guy. Enzo's one of the greatest guys you're going to meet if you ever get to. Go to Nürburgring, you'll meet him right there. I'm sure he's there right now. This was just funny, and I'm only going to play one moment of it so they don't steal my video. Seth Meyers did a video talking about old school video games, and so he brought up his controller of the past. So the contest is, does anybody know? What wheel is that? Can anyone promise and say, hey, that is a wheel? I don't know if it's a mock-up of multiple wheels. Obviously, it's gotten the full Back to the Future treatment with some extra attachments. But yes, this was on Seth Meyers. Not really sim racing related, but pretty darn funny at the same time. So, what else? Deals of the week. Man, we talk about Humble, but right now, 13 days, 39 minutes left. Project Cars 2 for $29.99. That's half off at Humble. Assetto Corsa, same thing, 13 days, 39 minutes. It is already discounted, but it's down to $11.99 for just the base of Assetto Corsa. Dirt 4, I mean, so far, I mean, all three of these should be in your library if you're a sim racer. And I'm not saying they're all the greatest in the world, but they should be in your library. Dirt 4, if you don't have it, you've never played it, for $17.99, it's time to do that. Is it a SciTech? We're going to go back to that. Is it a SciTech? It could be. I was wondering if that was like a non-force feedback Thrustmaster that they completely, like, put a bunch of stuff on and repainted. We'll go back to that image in one moment. It is our thumbnail of the day. And then F1 2017 is on sale for $17.99. Normally $59.99. Also on Humble. I want to see leaderboard images. There's no way to get a feel for what they're doing this week at Formula One than driving it in F1 2017. And I'm not trying to say it's a better sim than anything else. I'm just saying there's no other sim that gives you the ability to watch it like that, feel it like that, drive it like that. So one more shot at the wheel. So there it is. I don't know. Is that I think that's a Microsoft wheel. Anybody? the blow dryer. The cell phone. The old school cell phone. You see that over there on the left here? Let him. There it is over there on the left. They're probably going to... It's the Jorbis. That name is their name for it. And they don't really ever use it in the video. But, man, funny. Funny is funny yet. So... that is going to do it, except for I tell you a few things, you guys. I tell you, send me pictures. You all might remember Franco and El Bucho. There we are at Long Beach, hanging out together, watching the racing. Franco there in the middle. Well, he, just kind of inspired by our junkyard rig, did send me some pictures of his rig, and I just want to show it off. He's got dual rigs. They just kind of put together with some Honda seat covers there, it looks like. And looking from the front side by side. And nice setup there, Franco. So thank you for sending them in, and I'm putting them up because I'm telling you guys, I want to see your gear. I want to see your leaderboard images. I want to make you guys the star of the show. And today, Franco is the star of the show. Thank you so much, Franco, for sending that in. Excuse me. And then I'm going to finalize things today with what's coming up tonight or what went on last night. Last night was an incredible race. You want to watch just a great race in Porsches and some interesting strategy because it was the first race of the season. Well, last night was a heck of a race, especially from my view. You can check that out. Just look for our videos for last night's Porsche 911 RSR series on SRS. And tonight we will be going at it again at 6 p.m. and I'm going to try a slightly different, maybe race-winning strategy, potentially. I ended up finishing on the podium, and I'm very proud of my efforts. That's why I'm sending you to go watch the video. Stan, who actually had a great night, did have a terrible moment, and that's when I was reeling him in right before the first round of pit stops for those who were going to pit, and I was catching him quickly, and he sent me this image with a little, oh, bleep. I'll bleep that out, but you can see the emojis. A few seconds after his crew chief, because he runs crew chief, tells him, Cole is reeling you in. And I was driving well last night. And you can watch it from my perspective. You can actually see Stan go off track. But Stan was on the best strategy of the night, no pit. And he actually ended up finishing second despite that off. And I'll tell you what, if it weren't for that, oh, bleep moment, he might have won the race. So it was a really fun race, and I'm looking forward to another really fun race. And if you're going to race with us tonight, just remember my words from last night, because in the top split, we had a very good start. But remember, it's a new season. It's an hour-long race. You're not going to win the race on turn 1, turn 2. We're on cold tires. Everyone's going to swing wide. Predict what people are going to do, stay out of trouble, and protect yourself at all times. That's my message for this SRS race and for anybody attacking the track this weekend and getting out there and doing some racing. So that's going to do it for me today. And I have racing later. I have the live stream at 11 for the guys, and I'll be doing a lot of testing and racing over the weekend. I hope you all have a great weekend, but that's going to do it for today. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.